Hey guys, I've got a little ab focus class. I don't overly love using the words abs or core or anything like that, but today, because we're doing shorter sessions, because of you guys being stuck at home, you don't really want to listen to me for a full hour. I've been focusing the classes into a couple of separate groups, and then we do have a couple of full length classes to come out. So today it's going to be focused in through this kind of core region. Again, I don't overly love using the word core. There's such a huge complex arrangement of muscles that make up the core, but essentially this is what we're doing today. Again, I'm going to move everything through in progressions, so if something doesn't feel right, come back to the previous movement and just work at building strength through there. I will offer everything in progressions. Okay, so just come off. We're going to start down, lying down, getting yourself into a comfy position. All right, and then just focusing on your breathing a little bit. Okay, so we all need to breathe at the moment. One hand on your belly, maybe one hand on your upper chest. And I want you to focus on your breathing. I want you to see if you can send the breath down into your belly. So really letting that belly rise and fall. Good work, and just bringing the nervous system back down, all your stress levels down, cortisol levels down, your adrenals. Get to relax for a little bit as you focus on that breath. Beautiful big slow breath in. And big breath out. All right, just checking in through the body. You can stay breathing for as long as you like, by the way. That's the first progression. Checking in through the body again, checking down through the feet. You shouldn't be able to see the feet. They should be tucked behind your thighs. All right, and then just your arms resting down beside you. I'm going to start off with that little pelvic tilt again. So just rocking that marble from pubic bone to ribs. Good, you're moving it back and forth, just exploring your range. And again, each day it may feel different in your range for different reasons, what you've done the previous day, how you've slept. But just have a play with that, and it's really nice to bring the breathing in. Inhale as the marble rolls away, exhale as the marble rolls back. Really lovely to use the breath to calm down that nervous system and just introduce this beautiful little safe movement for the spine. All right, resting that marble at halfway in our neutral spine. So a lot of what we do is in that neutral spine. You should feel the back of the pelvis touching. There's a little hollow underneath the lower back. So I'm replicating your standing spine, back of the ribs, back of the pelvis kind of line up, and you have this curve naturally in the lower back. That's where we want to strengthen. Right, there are some movements where we do flatten off, and I'll explain that if we come up to it today. All right, so we're in our neutral spine. From here, just basic, we're going to float the right leg up and then back down. Good, inhale, let's take it up, and exhale down. All right, and again, we're just moving through whatever range you can find. Again, you may feel different from side to side. Can you keep that marble still in the center? Can you keep that same little space underneath the lower back? That's your first progression. Should we take it further? So let's float the left leg up, and then the right comes up too. And now we're into toe taps. So this is just an increase in level. We're increasing the weight. This time I'm going to change the breathing a little bit. So it's an exhale to tap the toe down, inhale to bring it back up. So we're using the breath out to help us stabilize. Okay, this is what it's all about, stabilizing through the center here. Taking any kind of tension out of the lower back. Again, if you feel this through your lower back, you can flatten the spine into the mat and work at gaining strength through that area first. All right, let's go one more on each side. Keeping that space exactly the same. All right, from here we're going to join the knees together. Now really use a zip up through the inner thighs, okay? So that's really important. Legs are joined together, knees are straight above hips. From here we're just tapping both toes down towards the floor. You notice I'm not going all the way down. And how to bring it back up. So we're keeping that space underneath the lower back exactly the same as we tap the toes down. Good, and you may find you get a little shake, like myself. Good, we're just finding our range. We're going to go for 3 more. Good, everyone's different. Exhale, tap the toes. Can you keep this exactly the same? Good, last 2. Lost count again. Good, last one. Good work, and then hugging the knees all the way in. Whew. A little rock across the back, releasing anything. So often we say we're not using the lower back, but all of those muscles are helping us to stabilize. All right, legs up to tabletop. Let's take the arms up to the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. Again, I'm going to take you through progressions. So keep the arms up to the ceiling, right toe taps. Good, and then left toe taps. Good, can we go right arm taps? Left arm taps. Feel okay during there? All right, let's progress it if that feels okay. Let's go right arm, left leg. Good, and then right leg, left arm. So now this is what we call dead bugs, hey? Again, we're keeping the space exactly the same because as the arm goes back, so often our rib wants to follow it. Can we keep the space exactly the same underneath the lower back? All right, let's go one more on each side, and again, we're going to progress it even further, only sticking with the movement that feels nice for you. All right, relax the shoulders. Good, take a nice big breath in. Exhale, both arms and legs are moving away from your center. Can you keep the space the same underneath the lower back? Inhale to bring it back up. And again, exhale. Use the breath out. Keep the ribs drawn down. Pelvis stays in the same position. Lower back stays in the same position. We've got two more. Good. Check that you're not shrugging your shoulders up around the ears. Can you keep space around the ears? Good work. I've lost count. Last one. Oh, wait. Legs come in. And take that little rock. Big breath into the belly. Make sure you're not holding on to everything. All right, holding on behind the thighs. Take a big breath in, assisted roll up. Exhale, roll yourself all the way up. Lift the spine at the top. So here, we're turning the spine into that C curve. We're rolling away from the thighs. We're lengthening the arms. Our feet are like our little weights as they slow us down. Just slowly roll down. How slow can you go? Take a breath in. Again, same coming up. How slow can you go? Good, rolling all the way up. Lengthen up. Go one more. Good work. And then rolling all the way back up. All right, we're sitting up nice and tall. Arms are released. Option, you can hold on to your thighs for this movement. Lengthen the spine. Check down through the feet. Let's go. Feet together. Legs together, knees together. So we have the inner thighs working. Everything's connected. So when the inner thighs work, pelvic floor, lower abdominals are all connected. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed. Take a big breath in. You're sitting up tall on your sit bones. From here, we're just moving behind the sit bones. Gaze slides down, comes down to rest on my thighs. Making sure I haven't hunched through the shoulders. The collarbones stay nice and wide. Take a breath in at the bottom. Exhale, roll back up. Good, lift up. Again, I'm looking for that C curve. My spine is turning into the shape of a C. Yeah? Good, take a breath in. I'm trying to shorten the ribs towards the hips, trying to shorten the front, lengthen through the back. All right, breathing. Inhale here. Only breathe with me if it makes sense. Exhale, we roll back. Good, take a breath in at the bottom. Exhale, roll back forward. Good, let's go one more. Rolling back. Take a breath in at the bottom. Exhale, roll back forward. Lift back up. All right, can we roll back down? So again, I'm going to add our progressions in. If it doesn't feel nice, just stay doing that basic movement. Good, where you're starting off is always good. So let's take the right arm up to the ceiling. Good, and then the left arm. Good, keep those knees holding you together. Let's go right arm again. Good, left arm. I want you to notice is the space through the front here staying the same. Let's go both arms. Good, and down. Let's go three like that. Make sure your gaze doesn't start lifting, keeping the breastbone drawn down towards your hip bones. You want to keep the space through the front of the body exactly the same. Keep sending your sit bones away from you. Good, let's roll back up. Lift up. Lengthen through the lower back. Make sure the hip flexors aren't holding on. Roll back down. All right, let's go right leg. All right, keep the body exactly the same. Left leg. Good, let's go back to the right. And then the left. All right, so now we're just balancing behind the sit bones. You can hold on to your thighs at any point. Right, can we send right leg toe tap? And then left leg. Let's go once more on each side. Good, and then here can we lengthen both legs out and then roll all the way down. Oh, big breath into your belly. Really let the belly expand. Everything can relax. Alright, sliding the feet in towards you. Again, we're going on to bridging. Just a little variation. We're going to bring the feet together, knees together, inner thighs are hugging towards each other. Again, we're going to just help out this inner thigh connection, drawing in through the lower abdominals. Alright, we're going to bridge up. So again, roll the marble back towards your 12 o'clock, peeling all the way up, pressing down through both heels. Good, take a big breath in at the top, and then exhale, roll back down. Lengthen through the lower back, roll the tail away. Let's just go 2 more. Again, press into the heels. Can you lift those hips a little bit higher at the top, but keep the heart nice and soft? Good, keep the chest heavy, and then rolling back down, side of breastbone. Imagine you can melt the spine down. It should be relaxing. Working, but relaxing. Good, as long as we're breathing, we're okay. All right, we're going to pause at the top. From here, we're going to open the knees up and then close them back off. So we're like a little butterfly, opening up the knees and closing them off. It's not a very masculine analogy, but I'm sure we can think of something. Let me know if you think of any men's analogies for this one. Let's go for 3 more. Really bringing those knees back together. Let's get those inner thighs working. 2. Good, and last one. Knees back together. Good, can we lower a little bit and then press the hips back up. Lower a little, hips back up. 3 more. Good, 2. And last one, lift the sit bones up. Good, and then roll all the way back down. Holy Lord. Hold the knees in, take a little hug. Well done. All right. Let's go for a full roll up. Full roll up. If it doesn't feel nice, come back to that assisted roll up. Reaching the arms up above the head. Legs go nice and long. Let's bring the hands up to the ceiling. Make the shoulders heavy. Look towards your toes. Let's hope this works. Roll all the way up. Phew. Come into your spine stretch and then restack. All right, roll back down. How slow can you go? Can you imagine sinking through every little vertebrae through your spine and then relaxing all the way down, taking the arms up overhead. Bring the hands back to the ceiling. Take a breath out. Inhale, look towards your toes. Now use this breath out. Get over that hard part. Good work. Restack. Let's go 1 more. Slowly rolling down. Good. Again, sinking through every little bone. Take your time. Use your hands on your thighs if you need to. Arms come all the way over. Interlace fingers. Bring them in behind the head. Head's heavy in your hands. Again, legs are together. Legs are going to stay long. Legs long is going to help us keep that neutral spine. It's really hard to lose neutral spine when the legs are long. So take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, curl the head, neck and chest forward. Good, inhale to slowly lower the head back down. Now the arms, I don't want them all the way back. I want you to be able to see the elbows, and that's going to help you come forward into this chest lift position. But just make sure they're staying out there. We don't want to see them come forward. Good, and then slowly lower back down. And again, exhale, curl forward. I'm thinking about my ribs, drawing them down towards the mat underneath me. Good, and then back down. Exhale, curl forward. Breastbone curls me up towards my pubic bone. All right, so this is your first progression. Okay, so just stay doing this if this is enough for you. Exhale to move forward, and then inhale to move back down. I'm going to start bringing in the lower half. See how that feels, okay? So let's float the right leg up, and then back down. And then the left leg up, and back down. All right, and I'm not trying to bring my nose to my knee. I'm keeping the pelvis nice and still. I'm not rolling the tail up yet. Going to be keeping both hip bones nice and level. Go, let's go for 2 more on each side. Good, inhale down, 1 more on each side. Good, last one. Good work. Take a big breath in. Let the abdominals relax. We're going to add a little rotation into this. Okay, so keeping the legs long, let's do a couple just rotating. So take a breath in. Exhale, we're going to curl the head, neck and chest forward. From here, we're just doing a little rotation. So pivoting on the ribs. Come back through center and then rotating to the left. All right, did that feel okay? All right, let's keep going. So again, we're going to curl up. We're going to bring the right knee in, rotate towards the right knee. Come back through center, lower the leg down. Exhale, left leg comes in. We rotate towards the left knee. Come back through center, lowering down. And again, right, rotate, back through center, lower. Left, rotate, come back through center, lower. You want to check as you're rotating, you're not rolling through the pelvis. Keep the pelvis nice and level, making sure you're not rolling. So you would see me roll too far, trying to do this movement too much. It's a small micro movement. And left, we'll go one more on each side. Go curl up, rotate, back through center, back down. Last one. And then all the way back down. Big breath into the belly. Let the belly rise and fall. Good work. Rolling onto your side, we'll give that a nice little stretch. So again, we're going to little book openers. Knees are in front of your hips. Elbows in front of your eyes, like that chest lift position, but just rolling that top elbow up to the ceiling and then open up the chest. Just pause out here for a few breaths. This really helps to lengthen through those abdominals. As much as it's important to strengthen, there's always lengthening in everything. Otherwise we become tight little balls. That sounded weird. All right, breathing here. Big breath in. All right, I'm going to roll you all the way over. Coming onto the other side again, knees are up. And here we're just rotating, opening up. And again, you may notice you're different from side to side. That's completely normal. We try not to analyze it. You're doing the right stuff to try and fix it. All right, from here we're all the way over. You come onto your front. We're going to do a nice little stretch again for the abdominals. Lengthening them out. Let's go capital E with the arms out nice and wide, like little cactus arms. Your elbows are straight out from your shoulders, fingers are straight out from the elbows. And again, let's move those sit bones down the back of the legs, so we're protecting the lower back. Gaze is just down, so your nose is just hovering off the mat. Take a nice big breath in, and then exhale. We're just going to start lifting the gaze. Let's start lifting the chest with the gaze. You're going to roll up to around about your bottom of the ribs, okay? Open up the front of the chest here. Make sure you haven't just used your lower back to get there. We've got that little lift through the front, so the ribs are attaching down towards your hips, and then slowly lower the chest back down. And again, make sure the sit bones are down the back of the legs. Exhale, lift the chest. Option here to come up into full swan. Start pressing into the arms, into the hands. Start straightening the arms, rising all the way up. Go checking again here that you haven't just used the lower back, so that's a bad movement. We want to make sure you're almost trying to pick up the pelvic bone off the floor, and then roll back down. Good, so we are still using the abdominals to lift ourselves up. The abdominals are helping keep support through the spine, but we're allowing for that lengthening action. Okay, so you're sitting up in the pelvic bone, sitting up in the thighs, gaze is forward, chest is open. Again, that big proud chest plate on the front of you. And then rolling back down. Let's go one more time. Big breath in. And again, exhale, open up the chest, press into the hands, open the chest up, gaze raises up. Good, lift up that pelvic bone if you can at the top. And then roll all the way back down. Coming back into your child's pose. Resting back, bum back towards heels. Let's go knees together. Breathing into the back of the body, really expanding it open. I'm just going to turn around so I can face you. I'm going to come up into kneeling. Hopefully kneeling feels okay for you. If it doesn't, then we will just come on to seated. As easy as. Just going to come into a nice little lateral stretch. So you can feel your sit bones on your heels. I'm going to come down. We're going to place the hand down on the floor. We're going to stretch all the way over. That's it. And making sure here we haven't rolled away from that heel. So keep both sit bones even on the heels. Good, opening up through that top armpit, top rib, take it up to the ceiling, restack all the way over. Good, big breath into that top rib again, open up the armpit. Good, and as you move, keep the gaze forward. Good, reaching the spine as you come over. So just checking you're not dumping in, you're not folding, you're not collapsing. Trying to think about as much length as possible. One more over to the other side. Big breath in. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears, space through the collarbones, restack. Last little movement we're doing, we're coming into weight bearing. So again, hands are straight underneath your shoulders. And again, you've got all those options. You can roll up the front of your mat, you can place your hands up in a box, you can come down onto your forearms, whatever feels okay for you. Setting yourself up, imagine these little suction cups on the underneath of your hands, and you can almost suction the mat up. Soft bend through the elbows, elbow creases are facing. Knees are directly underneath your hips. We're going to bring the legs all the way together. Okay, so again, we've got inner thighs working. We're going to hook the toes under. Check your shoulders stay over top of your wrist. Go to hooking the toes under. We're going to squeeze the knees. From here, we're just hovering the knees off the floor. And we're going to lower them back down. And again, I want you to try and keep the body as still as possible as you suck those thigh bones up into your hip joints. It's not actually possible, but we're thinking about the lower abdominals during this action. Good, inhale to lower, exhale, squeeze the knees, lift the knees off the floor. Good, let's go one more. All right, rest the knees down. Option would have been, sorry, I should have said this, if you're in just your normal quadruped, just hooking one toe under and lifting the opposite knee, seeing whether you can get that movement happening before you fully load into that full weighted movement. So from here again, join the knees together, take a breath in. Now the hover only needs to be 1 millimeter. Maybe it's not even quite moving off the floor. We're going to hover the knees off the floor. From here, press into the hands, roll the knees all the way to the wall behind you. Heels come down to the floor. We're going to pause here. We're just going to walk out. Okay, just taking a nice little roll through the feet, walking the feet, stretching through the hamstrings. All right, and then we pause, and then just walking your hands back to your feet. Pause in your forward fold. Take a nice little rock back and forth through your forward fold. Again, you'll find that stretch changes through the hamstrings as you rock. You have a soft bend in the knees if it feels okay for you. Pausing here, bring a little bit more weight towards the front of your foot. Always wonder what I look like when I'm upside down and teaching. Right, and then from here, tailbone, I want you to bring it down to the floor. Good, I want you to think about the pelvis coming all the way to vertical, so we're still using those abdominals here. Pelvis comes all the way up, and then restack the spine back up on top of the pelvis. Big breath in. I don't know if you can see my head again. We're nodding the chin down. We're going to roll all the way down because I love them. We're rolling all the way down into our stinging roll down. They feel incredible. Big breath in at the bottom. And then again, exhale, lift the abdominals, sink the tailbone, bring it all the way down. Can you get it completely to vertical? And then the spine restacks. Cool guys, thank you again. We'll see you soon.